A tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain in Southern California, much like Arizona. My eyes don't shed tears, but boy they pour when I'm thinking about you. Ooh, no, no, no. I've been thinking about you. You, no, no, no. I've been thinking about you. Do you think about me still? Do you not think so far? No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing.
Oh my god, where's my melanin? Jumbo everyone, welcome back, and in today's video I am going to be dissecting my 2024 month by month. This is pretty similar to the video that I filmed last year when I was talking about reflecting on my 2023 and essentially a get ready with me and goals that I had going into 2024. Now that it's the end of 2024 and here I am now, I'm going to be talking about my year and everything that happened. No matter what, big or small, I also wanted to make this video because reflecting back on a year, so much can change in just a year alone, whether it's big or small. Another thing that I want to talk about is comparison can definitely be the thief of joy, but also in a small sense, I think that when it comes to comparison, instead of comparing ourselves to other people, we can use them as an inspiration to know that our goals are also achievable. And that's kind of the mindset that I have when I see somebody, you know, living the life that I want. I want everybody to have their flowers at the end of the day. Me and my sister, this is a little bit random, but me and my sister were talking about how there was this psychology professor that basically gave their students the option, if I just gave everybody a 95 in the class, everybody in the class has to vote that they want it. Out of the 250 kids, 20 of those kids voted that they didn't want other people to get a grade that they didn't deserve. Me personally, I'm like, let's all win. I want to see you win and I want to win at the same time. So that's just like my mindset, where it's like having such an individualistic mindset of knowing that, you know, if we all collectively get a good grade, that's a whole test that we don't have to take. So just approaching 2025 and just like what I have to say about this year is that I have seen so much growth in myself that sometimes I underplay it by comparing myself to other people's growth and feeling like I am not in the spot that I should be in. But here's my reminder to you. The reason why I believe so heavily in divine alignment to the point where I got it tattooed on my body and have even essentially made it into my first hoodie, I believe in that so heavily because yes, as long as you put in the work and you live the life of your higher self, your reality will start to shift. That is something that I've been kind of heavily having to be honest with myself and disciplining myself when it comes to going into the new year. 2024, I was kind of I was disciplined, but not as disciplined. And I know that I can achieve so much, but it's also hard because being an overachiever, I have achieved so much in this year alone that like now for 2025, I'm like, all right, the bar is like even up here now, which I love that for myself. I know a lot of people can say that vision boards don't work, but for me, I need a vision board in every aspect of my life in order to show me and kind of rewire my subconscious. This is kind of like what I learned along my spiritual journey back in like 2019, 2020, when I really started getting deeper into it. But essentially having something to constantly remind you of the life that you want to live is what is going to allow you to shift into the reality that you want to do, as long as you put the work in. So like I said, we are going to be going month by month on my 2024 and kind of talking about how much can genuinely change in a year, big or small. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting off strong, if you didn't know, I kind of recorded all this, which is why I love having a digital footprint of just like my journey and everything, because you guys can go back and watch it, my prep and solo travel with me to Bali, and then also my Bali experience. If you didn't know, like I always say, I took myself to Bali for my 21st birthday, and that essentially kind of kicked off my out of the country solo traveling. Bali was probably the most extreme place I could have gone, but I'm almost grateful that I went to Bali in the first place. I say it's extreme by one, the ticket was $2,500. Two, I stayed there for around 10 days. And then on top of that, I was solo, and just doing all that and also it taking a full day to get there. That was like probably one of the most extravagant things I could have done. But I was so grateful that I did that for my first experience. So now every single experience after that, I'm like, $1,000 plane ticket, that ain't shit. Or I'm like, it's only 6 hours away. I've done 24 hours before. I can do it. it. So like I said, I wanted to really start off the year with a bang, and I came to appreciate having my birthday in January. And you know, you already know I'm a Capricorn, the GOAT, and I say that because I love being able to look back at my full on year and then be able to turn 22 going into the new year. So it's kind of like, you know, I turned 21 and then now I'm able to really reflect back in December, when my birthday being next month or in a couple of days. Like, that's so crazy to say that my birthday's in what? So what, my birthday's in like 13 days. So I'm actually so excited. That's where I'm just like reflecting back. It's just like, y'all, reflecting back, I'm like, being 21, I feel like I have learned so much. And now being able to say I'm 22, I'm like, so like I said, going to Bali and then also getting my full leg tattooed. I feel like this also kind of started my tattoo addiction on always wanting a new tattoo. But just like doing this tattoo 10 hours back to back, 2 days in a row. That's why I'd be telling people like Bali was probably the most extravagant thing I could have done for my birthday at that point in time, because not only is it all the way across the world, I also came back with a full leg sleeve tattoo. Also having this heel and then really falling in love with the pieces on my leg, I think that it just, for me, it just gave me an appreciation for the tattoos that I have and why it's so important for me to have a meaning behind my tattoos. You can also go watch that video. It's me getting a full leg sleeve tattoo for my 21st birthday in Bali. And then when Bali was over, I traveled back home and gained an appreciation for food, because OMG, the way that I low-key starved myself in Bali, it was not okay. I ate the same thing every single day. I was struggling, and then I was broke on top of that. Why do you say? And I've already talked about this in a video before, but my roommate moved out and their agreement wasn't up until February. So technically I had to use the money for my birthday to pay bills before I left, because they left in December essentially, or they stopped paying bills in December, and I had to pay for December and January utilities because they didn't want to pay it. So do I still hold a little bit of that grudge? Yes, because I was fucking poor in Bali because of that. Anyways, this is where I really got, you know, my living situation down, I guess. I started living alone. It's been smooth sailing ever since then. Okay, let me stop lying. Not smooth sailing, but when it really hit me was when I gained an appreciation for living alone and not having anyone enter my peace and enter my space to disrupt it with not wanting to respect my boundaries. I love living alone. My tattoo was healing. Even though it was peeling like a motherfucker, it was still healing. And then once it like really healed, I'm like, oh my God, like this tattoo is fire. And then I was able to like go back to the gym and start, you know, posting more on my fitness account. And I think once I got that tattoo, that's kind of when everything changed. I essentially just started posting every single day, or just posting about my tattoo, and it started blowing up. I was also working, seeing that, you know, I was going to be okay sustaining myself and being able to pay bills and still have money for extra stuff. Was the $700 extra that I had to pay for a month inconvenient as hell? Yes. But would I take it back? Absolutely not. I also then started my spring semester, and this is my junior year of college. I was like, all right, bet, like, you know, we're 3 years deep in this bitch, and I can't believe I'm gonna be a senior next year. But then I did not start to like my classes, and I was like, why do I hate my classes so much? And I didn't understand that until it was probably around after midterms, and I was like, yeah, this ain't cracked up what it's supposed to be. Actually, I lied. It was more of in February, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go here anymore. I was so heavily engulfed in looking up St. Kate's and just finding out more things about their website that like I ultimately was like thinking about switching. Now we are in February, and this is really where, you know, things started taking off. I started my spring semester, but then I, like I said, made the decision that I wanted to switch schools. So I applied for St. Kate's and then eventually got in, got lots of scholarships, started searching for grants and everything else, and just making sure that I was able to really be able to pay for school and not take out any loans. Because if you don't know me, that is the one thing that I have made a promise to myself, that I will not take out any student loans, just because I have seen how long it takes to pay off school, and I'm not rocking with that. I was definitely starting to stay consistent in the gym, especially with me having a tattoo now. I was like, okay, I'm only wearing shorts. I don't give a fuck. On top of that, I think it was the second week of February, I ended up meeting Dr. Umar. He came to the University of Minnesota to speak there. People were able to submit questions and ask questions. And then on top of that, if you paid extra, you were able to do a meet and greet with Dr. Umar. That is where I got the infamous video of me talking about Coon Rapids. Reese, Ireland. Reese like the candy, Ireland like the country. I love y'all. I went to Coon Rapids. Do you have anything to to Coon Rapids.
Let me find out there's some real Pan-Africanists in Coon Rapids. I'm gonna probably go to Coon Rapids and find some of the best activists, Pan-Africanists, nationalists I ever found in my life. So I'm gonna go to Coon Rapids. But if we got some real blacks in Coon Rapids, we got to relocate them because we need Coon Rapids for the police.
Thank you. Thank you. If you didn't know, Coon Rapids was the city that I grew up in and eventually graduated high school from. When I did do my graduation speech, everybody was like, Coon what? What is your high school name? Yes, Coon Rapids. So we talked about that, and then I also made a TikTok with him, and then that is where I essentially, you know, posted my viral slideshow video on TikTok of me meeting Dr. Umar, and the sound is so funny where he's like, I want nappy ass headed black women, big pretty eyes, beautiful nose, big lips, big fat ass. Like, it's hilarious.
I want nappy ass headed black women, big pretty eyes, beautiful nose, beautiful lips, big hips, fat ass, big breasts. I want original African woman, whether she be butter almond, whether she be pina colada, whether she be lemonade, whether she be sweet brown sugar, whether she be butter pecan, whether she be caramel, hot syrup, hot fudge. I want 100% nappy. Nappy. If I cannot grab your hair, I don't need you.
I think that video is sitting at over 500,000 views on my TikTok with over 64,000 likes. I'm just like, y'all be eating up Dr. Umar, but meeting him was still so funny and just like kind of like a very rare opportunity. So you already know me, I'm gonna hop on that opportunity. Within this aspect of February, I started, like I said, staying more consistent in the gym, posting more consistently on my fitness account. I was also still working a ton. And then on top of that, with my fitness account, a couple of my videos started to blow up, and I started to really think like, okay, I could make something out of this fitness account or even just build a good following. Now onto March, I officially got into school. Actually, a lot of my videos started to go viral, like back to back to back. My car broke down, and this is where I was like, yeah, I might have to start getting a new car, because with my car, it was like every 6 months there was something wrong with it, something going wrong, and I'm just like, I can't keep paying upwards of $1,000 every single time something goes wrong with the car. I'd rather have a car payment for a short period of time, pay off that car, and then be able to be smooth. But like, I am just so sick of having to pay for unexpected repairs, and then when you go to just regular shops for these cheap ass cars, they want to charge $2,000. I was like, no, I need to get a more reliable car, even if I have to suffer with having a car payment for a little bit. I then also hit 10,000 on my fitness page, and that is also where EHP Labs officially reached out to me. I knew that everything was starting to really like, okay, bloom, and essentially this is where I kind of saw me starting to really evolve within my fitness account. I always feel like when it gets to the colder months, I start to lose motivation and just like not be as on my game, and I feel like that's kind of me now. But like, once the warmer months start to hit, once it's like the new year, a new kick, you know, all that stuff, it's like, okay, now I can really start getting my shit together. But yeah, this is where EHP Labs reached out to me, and it was really exciting, you know, working with a fitness supplement company. I had never been reached out to this extent, especially by a company that I had already been buying their products from, and I was just super grateful to even have the opportunity to work with them in the first place. Now moving on to April, I officially started posting my EHP Labs content, and just within that, you know, knowing how to do deliverables, I think like having this contract has been really good for me, at least, to try to hold myself accountable when it comes to doing deliverables, because if I want to work with other companies in the future, I'm gonna have to know how to do a deliverable, what they're asking for, if I'm gonna have to re-edit stuff or repost it, and just different things along those lines. If you didn't know, I actually didn't used to always have this vertical labrae. I used to have my Ashley piercing, but it got to the point where I had chipped my tooth three times, and continuously having to go back and forth to the dentist for them to like fix it or even just, you know, do something with it. I'm still kind of insecure about my teeth because I have kind of like a filling from where the chipped tooth was, but because of just eating and all that other stuff, it started to wear away just a little bit. I know that I would never in my life get veneers just because I love my natural teeth already the way that they are. I always used to want braces when I was younger, but I'm like, girl, your teeth are pretty straight. right. You don't need braces. So that is also where I got sick of chipping my fucking tooth. So I made the hard decision to take out my Ashley piercing and getting this vertical labret. I don't know why I didn't get it before. I actually love it even more than my Ashley. I think that if you can see the alignment of my piercings, like just having my doubles, my medusa, my septum, and then the way this vertical labret looks, I just think that it looks very, very good. And I don't really want any more piercings after this. I feel like I'm satisfied with the amount of piercings that I have now. I'm looking in the viewfinder, but I'm just like, I'm satisfied with the amount of piercings that I have right now. I don't really see myself getting any more in the future unless like I want to get my eyebrows, but like surface piercings, I don't know about that. Especially with me becoming an interpreter, this is like a decent amount. If I were to go overboard, that's going to interfere with my job, and I don't want that to happen. At this point, I was staying on top of my fitness page, still posting probably every day or even every other day, just seeing what was sticking and what was working. And I was really trying to build like a following of just posting anything that I would consider not controversial, but just more of like really making people think, like especially the video where I talked about a 3.5 every week or a $35 gym membership. Just putting in perspective for all the stoners who say that they want to work out, say that they want to go to the gym, and you know that, but they're spending all their money on weed instead of using part of that money to go towards a gym membership and being able to work out. That's why I never shame myself about smoking, because bitch, I still go to the gym at the end of the day and get my shit done. Am I probably going to change my habits going into 2025 with weed and, you know, smoking after I get done at work? Yes, because I think that, I don't know, as much as I say I don't like being in school, I do think that school structurally helps me be able to create a stable routine. And with going to work, there's never a set time that I'm going to be off every single day. So it gets really difficult when trying to establish a good night routine to be able to have a good rising routine to not be tired and not be groggy in the morning. I want discipline, and if that requires me changing up my whole entire routine, that's what's going to happen. Just how I said I didn't want to quit vaping, I still did it anyways, and it was fucking hard, but here I am now. That was a little jibber jabber. My friend Manny, she moved away to Florida. We had her going away party. That was super sad because I'm like, well, what the fuck? Who am I going to talk to now? And that was just super sad because I'm like, well, damn, like that was my best work friend too. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Fuck. But it's been okay. I've been trying to heal since then and just like, I guess, figure out how to do work without your work bestie. Like, how do you do work without your work bestie? Like, come on now. And then on top of this, I hit 50,000 on my fitness account, and I'm just like, okay, we are blowing up. But I'm also just like, I was also kind of nervous with the amount that I was blowing up because there wasn't a community that was being established for who I was. I was just more so blowing up for virality, and I think that kind of messed with me in a way because I'm like, okay, well, do people like me for me, or do they just like content that I'm posting but they don't care about sticking around and actually seeing what my life is about? You know what I mean? So now moving on to May. Manny is officially in Florida. Tier. I finished up my finals and really was like, all right, now I'm done at the U and my new college career can start at St. Catherine's. And you can also go watch that video where I said, come with me to not care about my finals because I'm not even going here in the fall. And that's exactly what I did. Not give a fuck. I did meet a man who didn't like me. We went on one date. And this is also where I'm like, watch who you're friends with, because I was friends with a bop and she told me to invite this man over, and I think that solidified why he didn't like me anymore, because why are you inviting him over at the middle of the night? Like, bitch, stop being desperate. So I think after that, and also just showing that I am a relationship bitch. You can't just, you know, say a couple words to me and, oh, I'm gonna fold. No, thank you. No, thank you. That was also where, you know, I would say limerence. There was an extreme case of limerence that I had to, you know, get rid of. I recently read the text message that he sent me and I'm just like, oh, you didn't like me for real because you didn't even want to be friends. Why? Like, why? Like, men are just so weird. Anyways, like I said, rejection is protection, and that just made me, you know, level up. And I even saw this one TikTok where it was like, there will be someone who does you so dirty, which I'm referring to the person that I met in July. There will be a person that did you so dirty that it will literally have to like make you snap out of the way that you allow people to treat you, because you're just like, no, I'm not going for that. And that's kind of what I did. I was like, I'm not going for this anymore. You're not going to try to manipulate me. One phrase that I have really just loved saying is, my husband would never. My husband would never treat me that way. And I'm not going to allow you, who's not even my boyfriend, let alone my man, treat me that way. Kept going to the gym. And then I also met Flo Millie for the third time. And when I be telling y'all, that's my bitch. Like, I feel like y'all, I know y'all recognize that. You recognize that. You recognize that. And then there's more up there and then more up there. That's that's my bitch. And it's even funny, and I'm gonna put it here on the screen, like being an OG Flo Milli stan and like just listening to her music, her first song Beef when she first came out, and having that as a caption way back then, like there's things that solidify me that let me know that I am on the right path. And even with me and her having our birthdays 2 days apart, come on now, stop playing with me. We're both Capricorns, we're both about our money, we both have similar mindsets. Like it's not that hard. Also, I was recently watching the Carisha podcast and with Flo Milli on it, and it's so funny because everybody in my family comes for me. I don't know how to cook, y'all. Sorry. I've said it multiple times that when I get married, my man is gonna be the one to cook. He's gonna have to cook, or we're both gonna have to starve, or he's gonna take us out, because the most I can do is chicken and rice, salmon and rice, and pasta. And I even said, like, I can cook breakfast, like I can cook some simple shit, but when it comes to really cooking, really throwing it down in the kitchen, don't ask me to do shit. Just don't. So that's also where we relate as well. But I also told her, like, you know, girl, give me 2 years, let me graduate, and then I'll be an interpreter for Flo. So, you know, give me like 2 years. Okay. Let me graduate from interpreting, and then I'll be on stage with Flo Milli.
I believe in you.
Watch, 2 years from now, okay?
2 years, she spoke it into existence.
I'm speaking it into existence.
Forget.
Don't play. I am now, you know, what, a year and a half away from that. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. And back then it was also crazy because I genuinely thought I was going to be in school for another 3 years. But when my advisor gave me my graduation plan, I was only graduating in 2 years. And that's where I'm like, the way that I just knew. So that's where I'm like, May, when I graduate, is such like a perfect time to be emerging into the scene. I feel like as an interpreter and just really getting my footing and working with people and being a part of the deaf community in any type of way that I can. So I feel like that's super exciting that, you know, a year and a half is going to go by very quickly. So that's why I love having, like I said, this digital footprint of my journey and along the way, and not caring about vlogging, and just knowing that I want part of this to be my career, but on top of that, I want to focus on interpreting full time. I started gaining a little bit more weight just because I was eating a lot more. Like I said, I was doing really good with my protein. I feel like at this time of the year, like going into summer, I was definitely hitting over 100 grams, 120 grams of protein a day, drinking protein shakes, whatever I could do to hit my protein, I was doing it. And I feel like lately I've kind of like fell off, and I think tomorrow, like I really want to budget for groceries and to be able to like pay for meal prep and meal planning over this next like week before I go on vacation, just because like I want to get into the habit now, and especially like coming back, to just take this shit serious. And I really want to see what happens with my body when I hit my protein goals, and when I really stay consistent and not eat fucking 100 grams of sugar a day. Like OMG. And then I went to see Mona Leo at Gold Room because finally the bitch came to Minnesota. Like, oh my god, what do y'all have against Minnesota? And she recognized me, and we had our little moment singing Don Julio. Was it Don Julio? I'm pretty sure it was. And then she brought me behind the section, and then she gave me the bottle of Don Julio 1942. I'll put the picture on the screen of me cheesing extra fucking hard that she gave me that. It was just a really good experience. Fuck the photographers there, because they would not send me the picture for the life of me. I'm like, what do y'all have against me? I will pay you for these pictures because they are good quality of me and Mona Leo, but y'all want to be playing around. Fuck you. And then on top of that, in May, I also hit my 6 months of no vaping. And that's where I was really like, damn bitch, you're really doing that thing. You really are. And I was just like really proud of myself because I'm like, vaping used to really have a clutch over my fucking life. And now it's like being 408 days of no vaping has just been a great journey. And like I've gotten to a point where even when I'm around it, there's an urge to hit it, but I'm more, mentally powerful to know to not hit it than to, you know, ruin that streak. So hit 6 months of no vaping in May. So then now we are in June. Because I was, you know, done with school, I started working a ton more. I started going out a lot more. And this is where I guess, like, you know, I was really seeing what life was like for people who went out to bars and stuff at the age of 21. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. The shit's boring. Not really a lot of men approach you. You're most of the time standing there in a circle, or you're just walking around taking laps. If you don't have like a good group of friends, it's not gonna be fun, especially if you're with male-centered women. All they do the whole night is just look for men. And like, do I want a man? Yes. But do I want it to happen organically? Yes. So therefore, I'm not gonna go out and just purposefully seek men and look around, oh, he thinks I'm cute. I don't care. I could be doing so many other things with my time than wondering if a man likes me at the bar or not because he doesn't have the balls to approach me. I started talking to another man this month, and it's actually kind of funny because the only men that I talked to this year was in the months of May, June, and July. After that, I said, I'm done talking to men. I was like, I'm done putting myself through this because it's genuinely not worth it at this point. I started talking to another man, but I got the ick because the nigga thought that just because you can bring me Jimmy John's that I owe you a kiss. Like, and then also try to not force his way into my house, but try to be like, oh, I want to meet your dog. Y'all need to start thinking of your dogs and your pets as children. And when all these men keep entering your house, your pets think you're hoes. I'm just saying. I know Louis was like, Reese, you're looking like a whore right now. Even though I wasn't even doing nothing with these men, but I'm just like, he's like, oh, just go out to the car. Like, how you gonna bring your roommate into it and just try? I'm not even finna get into it. But just please don't try to play sly with me because I will laugh in your face the next time you ever think that you can get something out of me because you manipulated me. No. And then I got scammed to film a bodybuilding competition. And I feel like I'll put this in a whole separate story time because it's just too long and too intricate. But essentially that video that y'all see of me saying, oh, I filmed the bodybuilding competition. Yeah, people are broke. People don't know how to keep your promises. Don't tell me that, oh yeah, you're filming me at my competition, I'm gonna pay for your ticket, and then you don't pay for it, and then you try to only give me $10, and then in the end you try to pay your other friend to pay me $30, which wasn't even the ticket price, which was $50 because I had to get VIP to get backstage to film your bitch ass. Like, it's just all these things, and I'm just like, I can't be friends with people who don't have ethics and the principle. At the end of the day, it's the principle. You had been telling me 6 months before you even started, oh my god, I would totally, like, you know, pay for your ticket, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. One thing about me, I got the money. You just gotta let me know so I can budget it in. That's all. I hate when people try to make me seem like I'm broke when I'm really not. Like, I am broke to you. I'm rich to myself. Thank you. And then I also got a retwist. Then I also was able to get my mom's Sony Cybershot. And this is where I really started to see the capabilities of both digital cameras and even the digital camera that I have right now, the Canon M100. And that is what I used to film on actually before all these videos. So like I said, I kind of gained an appreciation for digital cameras and started to realize like the quality. I was like, I will never post an iPhone pic on my main Instagram again. Or if I am, it's not going to be the main picture because I'm just like, now I have an aesthetic in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, only digital pictures get to be able to be posted on my main account. I don't care how good the picture is. If you want to post it a couple pictures down, we'll do that. But digital cameras, the way that they just make pictures eat, iPhones could never. And I know that everybody keeps coming out and saying, oh, like I got the new iPhone, you know, because of the camera quality. Girl, fuck the camera quality. Get a camera. You don't need to spend $1,000 on every new phone that comes out and, you know, keep paying a phone bill when you can just invest your money into a camera. Like, I've literally had this camera for what, going on 8 years now plus, and I use it to film all my YouTube videos. Like, invest in cameras and invest in tech because it will last you years and years and years. If you're still here, I bless your heart because this video is long as fuck, and you know, it's really for me because I'm reflecting on everything that happened this year, and I have just had a very crazy, amazing year. And then also in June, I went to see the Bryson Tiller concert, and I felt like I need to set my game up when it comes to music because Bryson has a lot of songs that are really good that I didn't know about. I am just sorry, I'm the same liked playlist baddie bitch. Like, I will listen to the same songs over and over and over again and not care. Discovering music is so hard for me. I don't know why. It's like, Akira, like, it's like that whenever I'm trying to discover new music. And then when I do discover the new music, then I overplay it and become obsessed with it. We're only on July. I'm just gonna do a rapid fire for the rest of these months because I have been yapping and it's already going on 30 minutes of me filming right now, and this video is going to be long as fuck. So ready, set, go. So I started taking pictures on my digital camera, and that is essentially where I started my account called Digital Diaries, and that is where I wanted to post all my raw digitals when it came to, you know, my Canon M100 and my Sony Cybershot DSC W80. And with that, I'm able to like kind of have a spam account but of just like digitals in itself. So it's not really like a photography account or a videography account, but I think I want to like lean into that, you know, going into 2025 is like, because it's digital diaries, I just want to get more into like cinematography and videography and really like working on that. And especially like with recording these videos, I think that it almost like holds me accountable to be able to look back at what goals that I want to have for myself and then how am I applying that when it comes to the new year. I unfortunately met a man from Hinge, and that is what made me ultimately realize, yeah, you're the reason why I can't do oral with these men, and I'm going officially full abstinence, no touching, no nothing. The most you will get out of me is a kiss. That's it. And even then, I'm gonna still need you to go get tested because I'm not trying to develop STDs because you have a culture that you don't want to tell me about. Fuck, I look like. I went to Aruba. And this is where I literally went on my, second solo vacation out of the country. And I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm really that bitch. Like I'm really out here solo traveling, vacationing, and like living my best fucking life. And that is just, I plan to keep doing that, especially in the year 2025, starting off my year going on vacation. And if you make it to the end of this video, you will know where I am going. Yeah, like I said, I almost got assaulted. Sexually assaulted. And that is where I came to the conclusion that some men will take dirty talk as consent, and I'm just not willing to put myself in those situations anymore. And that is where I am like, yeah, I think I need a decenter man. Finding a man is not the end all be all, and I am almost more happy alone, because how are you gonna ruin my day before it even starts? How are you gonna give me anxiety before the day even starts? Like, come on, bro. And then shit started to go downhill. I started eating whatever I wanted, and then started to see my back row developing, and I was like, yeah. And then my car broke down, like literally couldn't accelerate anymore. Almost, my car, when I tell you my car almost broke down on the highway, and this is why I just trust in the universe so much, because the way that it was so seamless, how I was able to park my car in a neighborhood safely after driving it on the highway, and I'm pretty sure the transmission going out and not being able to accelerate anymore, and the light was green, and just like all these things lining up, I'm like, yeah, the universe don't play about me, and I don't play about the universe. So then in August, I got my new car, just really trying to stay consistent on YouTube. I got a retwist, and this was my first time doing 2-strand like twists in my hair. And before that, I had hated the way that 2-strand looked, but I was like, I really want to try something new in terms of just hair wise. And so I gave it a chance, and I ended up actually loving the way like my hair looks when it's curly like this. I just think that it makes me look so much more mature, and just, yeah, I prefer now the curly look. So I'm like, whenever I go get a retwist, I'm like, put it in the 2-strand. You already know I'm obsessed. And also my hair has lasted so long. Like this is going on a month and a half of my hair being, retwisted or whatever. And with keeping it in the 2-strand for so long, it really made my hair last a while. And now, going on a trip for my birthday, my hair looks good. The fuck? At this time, I was also not posting as much on my fitness account. And then I did go to the Ice Spice concert. That shit was not worth the $80 I spent. Bitch, that certainly was not the shit. Not the shit. And then this is officially where I was able to get monetized on YouTube. And then, like I said, I started a new school at St. Kate's, and like being engulfed in ASL and just learning all that stuff was so important for me to really like know what I love and know that this is what I want to do in the future, essentially. I then went to the state fair, and then I started to have like a reality check about my eating habits and knowing, okay, you can't keep eating like this, because even though you work out 5 days a week, it's still catching up to your bitch ass. You can do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster and burn 1,000 calories in your workout, but if you're eating over 100 grams of sugar, it's gonna catch up to you. And then in September, I stopped eating as much at Cheesecake Factory. I was really getting into school and just trying to balance school and work life. Oh my God, I was getting burnt out by the first week. And then on top of that, I just really wanted to, keep staying consistent on YouTube, posting every week, and that's essentially what I was doing. So now on to October, I unfortunately broke my Canon M100, and I was butthurt about it, because I was like, ain't no way. I was just like, there's no way that I broke this camera that I got for $200 on Facebook Marketplace. And now when looking at it now, and digital cameras are all the rave, this shit is going for over $400. Like, what the fuck? I was also, starting the winter arc ever since becoming, more serious with my fitness journey, and just like watching what I was eating a lot more. And then at the end of October, because it had been like the 1-year anniversary of me going to the Flo Milli concert at the Fillmore, and with her bringing me up on stage, I posted it on my story just being like, oh yay, like the 1-year anniversary. And I was not expecting homegirl to follow me. You're telling me that Flo Milli, like my little icon, like come on now, she follows me on Instagram now. So I feel like that like just made my whole entire year solidified. People be like, why do you go so hard at concerts? Bitch, this is why. This is motherfucking why. Because there's so much more when you actually look at the artist as a human being and a person, instead of just looking at them as someone famous who only puts out content and music and they should, listen to your every desire. No, they are their own person. They can make their own decisions. This is why I say let's not glorify people so hard, but at least like I feel like the people that I look up to in the sense have that mindset of like, don't let nobody walk all over you. Don't let nobody speak to you just crazy. And then on top of that, you're a bad bitch. You know what to do for yourself and you know how to get it. Don't ever depend on nobody else to get it, but you can expect that from another person if you are giving that shit to yourself. That's essentially like kind of the energy that I get from the people that I listen to, like Mana Leo, even Flo Milli, Bali Baby. Some of her songs I'd be like, hey, like the Red album where she's like you know, the Ghost or whatever, like Skull, whatever. That album is super good and I love that album. Formally following me at the end of October was like, that was kind of like the highlight of my year. I'm like, okay, nobody talk to me. I don't give a fuck, because just wait. Like I said, just give me the 2 years and then you'll see me interpreting on stage with her. Yeah, I told y'all motherfuckers this video was going to be long, and it is long as fuck. But we're wrapping it up. We're almost there. Now moving into November. I was finally able to buy my new camera. And like I said, I bought my camera off of the website MPB. I don't think that Canon M100s are available on there anymore, just because my sister was trying to find one and there wasn't any on there. There was only the Canon M200s, and those are a lot more expensive. So I was able to buy my camera, and I think I got it at a super good price. I got it at $363, and that was just because I bought the body alone. I had already had the lens, so there was no point in me needing to buy another lens. I got the camera for pretty cheap, and the only complaint that I would have about it is probably when I'm filming. More so when I am vlogging, I have to adjust every clip to a higher volume just because the camera's pretty quiet. But overall, I can't really make any complaints. It still takes my pictures, and I'm still able to have that quality that I once had before. Again, I have personally said that I will never spend fucking what, $1,300 on the Canon G7X. You're smoking dicks, because you can literally buy what, 3 of the Canon M100s for the price of 1 Canon G7X. Is the quality good? Yes. But like I've said in my video on de-influencing the Canon G7X, the Canon M100 is just so much better for the price point. Then I bought my ticket to the Don Toliver concert. Y'all can also go watch that video. It is called Story Time on Why I'll Never Go to Chicago Again. Mona Leo, we need to talk. And in that video, I just basically explained why I will never go to Chicago again. My car got sideswiped, all that other stuff. If you want to know more about it, you can go watch that video. The election happened, and this is where I cut off some fake ass bitches, because what do you mean you're voting for Trump? What do you mean you're voting for against my interests? Do you hate me? I think so. Like I said, drove to Chicago, got a tattoo. Tattoo was kind of butchered, and I low-key had to get half of my money back, because girl, this is on my body for the rest of my life and I gotta go get it touched up now. So I learned my lesson. I will never go to an apprentice again, and I will stick with my Amy Jean tattoos. Thank you. I also officially hit my 1 year of no vaping, and this just proved to me that I can do anything that I set my mind to. 1 year of no vaping, something that had me in a chokehold before. And sometimes I do miss the buzz of nicotine, but shit, I'd much rather go and hit my fucking cart and get high real quick than be controlled by a vape. You know what I mean? And then also, this is where I started to watch financial videos such as like Caleb Hammer and all that other stuff, and even made the video, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be buying it. And I really started to be like, yeah, I'm paying off my car in a year. I really understood where I was getting scammed when it came to my car, is when I got the receipt for my car payment and seeing how much money went to the principal versus the interest. Yeah, no. We're paying this car off in a year, and I will be making a video once I pay off my car, how I did it, and the difference between principal and interest and everything along those lines. Ugh, that's gonna be like what? I'm praying to pay it off in 6 to 8 months, and I just know that if I really bust my ass, I can pay it off even sooner, which is the goal. All right, and we are now in December. So ending off December, and you know, ending off the majority of this video since it's going on 40 minutes damn near, I, you know, got a 4.0, and I worked my ass off for that 4.0 because I had to sit on Zoom with my professor for like 3 hours redoing my whole rubrics because I did it wrong, but I was so determined. I'm like, no, I'm getting an A. I don't care. Even if I have to redo it, I'm getting an A. Like I said, I finished with a 4.0, created my vision board for this year, bought my ticket for my birthday, and if you're wondering where I'm going for my birthday, I am going to the Dominican Republic, and I am staying at an all-inclusive resort. I'm so excited, so grateful, and yes, I did book myself a flight for Delta. We are going non-stop. We're gonna have internet the whole time. I'm gonna be able to edit my videos, watch TikToks if I want to, and just edit along the lines. I'm sick of going on airlines where they have no Wi-Fi and I can't do shit. We're going on Delta. My eating habits have been super, super weird this month. I just know that I've not been hitting my protein goals, and that's something that I want to really work on going into 2025. I think that I might even start tracking my calories, but more so not caring about the calories, just caring about protein. And I kind of do want to go in a slight deficit just to see what I I'm capable of, maybe eating like 1900 calories, where I feel like my maintenance right now is around like 2000 calories. I've been 180 for the past year. So really whatever I've been eating, it's been making me stay at the same weight. So I'm not even worried about that. I've been trying to post more on my fitness account, but like I said, I've been losing followers just because I also changed my fitness account name from Reese's Dumps to Reese's Pumps. And I want that to emulate more about Reese's Pumps with the pumps that we have at the gym. So like an arm pump, a glute pump. And it kind of references Reese's Puffs a lot more than Reese's Dumps. When Reese's Dumps was, you know, acquired, it was, I guess, given to me the idea from an old friend, but that friend I'm no longer friends with. So now it's kind of like, and then on top of that, only focusing on my ass the whole time, it's going to over sexualize myself. And that's where I realized, yeah, this ain't it for me. So I've been losing followers lately, but like I've said, followers are not everything. At the end of the day, I'd rather have engagement, and I'd rather have 30,000 followers with, you know, hella good engagement and people always engaging in my content than 80,000 followers where people could barely care. You know, you see the difference. I'm still posting consistently on YouTube, and like I said, I bought my ticket for my birthday. I'm so excited to go to the Dominican Republic. I've never been, and I'm just ready to keep getting my passport stamped. I don't know about y'all. Definitely working more this year ever since school's ended. My winter break is incredibly long just because we have J-term. So I've been out of school, technically like out of classes, since December 6th, and I don't go back until January 29th. So it's just really nice to have that long stretch of not working and being able to only have to go back for a Wednesday, Thursday, and then have that whole weekend and have that count as the first week. I'm fine with that. And then spent Christmas with my family, and then now here I am reflecting on the year. Going forward, even if I didn't quote unquote achieve everything that I wanted to in this year, I know that I am on the right path and the right alignment. If I really want to achieve my goals going into 2025, I'm gonna have to lock the fuck in. A lot of it is procrastination, and that is on me. I want to start reading more. I want to start actually planning stuff in my planner, because I feel like when things are written down, it helps me a lot more. And then on top of that, I want to start waking up earlier, having a better structured morning routine, and just really getting my life together, hitting my protein goals, and just becoming disciplined. I think that's what I need. I don't want to limit myself in terms of opportunities and what I'm capable of in 2025. I want the universe to be my limit. I want there to be no limit, actually. I want to be able to just put myself in every situation possible and every opportunity, and be able to really grow from every opportunity, positive opportunity. I want to say that because you got to be real specific with the universe. Every positive opportunity coming my way that is going to help me grow and just, you know, really know who I want to become. That's what I want going into this new year. 2024 was just practice, but 2025, this is my last full year being in school, and 2026 being able to graduate in spring and then being able to have that full summer. I know it's going to be great. Everything I've ever wanted plus more is brewing. I am just currently planting the seeds and starting the routine of my future higher self right now in order to start being like her and having to, you know, put the work in that she's putting in, so then I can be cool and bullin' and reaping the benefits, if that makes any sense. I'm going to enjoy the journey because the journey is what makes me grateful for being where I am, and I'm just going to try my best in terms of 2025. If you are still here, thank you so much for listening to me blabber and dissect my year month by month. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye, y'all.
Can you lead me to the ark with the password?